close to the sun.
Hello! In today's video, I thought I'd cover a topic that is actually quite important and worth mentioning. If you or anyone else is aware of my channel, I recommend they see this video. Today we're going to be covering a topic that has been an issue in not only this games community, but just in the community for online games in general, for a very long time. And it is a genuine problem that people need to be aware of because this can be genuinely harmful. The topic of this video is about impersonation, and how to tell me apart from someone who is impersonating me. Impersonation is when somebody pretends to be someone they're not, usually a game developer, admin, or content creator, usually for attention or simply because they do not know any better. It is especially popular in communities surrounding online games that have popular content creators, especially if the game's community has a younger audience. For example, Bellasaurus is a very popular Wings of Fire Roblox YouTuber, and there are a lot of people who have been pretending to be her and stealing her character for the longest time. I have been seeing impersonators who pretend to be YouTubers in many online games for as long as I can remember, not just Wings of Fire but other online game communities as well. It doesn't just happen in online games either. I've seen people make alternate YouTube channels or accounts with the same name and profile picture as a popular content creator before to gain attention. When I created my YouTube channel in 2020 and started doing Wings of Fire Roblox content, I never thought I was going to gain popularity. I never thought I would get to the point where people would start pretending to be me. However, it has happened, and this is the kind of thing you're going to have to expect if you're a YouTuber for an online game that happens to have a large following. What are these people doing? I'm trying to record. What? Anyway, impersonating a staff member in the Wings of Fire Roblox community is against the rules, but what about impersonating content creators? I don't see much talk about that being against the rules, especially considering a lot of content creators for the game nowadays are not that big. But it is still an issue because if someone is pretending to be a content creator in-game while also being rude or immature to people, it can give that content creator a bad name and make them look like a bad person, which I do not want to happen to me. So what this video will be specifically talking about will be regarding people impersonating me, and what to do if you think you see me in games so that you know whether or not it's actually me. Because impersonators are the sad reason why people always ask, "Are you real?" when they see me. So some years back, I had done similar videos to this one where I talked about impersonators, and I also talked about how to find me. However, those videos are old and outdated, and my opinions were different. Back then, if I recall correctly, I had stated that I didn't want fans to quote-unquote disturb me, and I just wanted to be left alone. I don't know, I don't rewatch my old videos because they make me cringe, but I think that's what it said. But now my opinion is more different. If you think you see me in-game, don't be afraid to say hi. I will discuss more about how to interact with me later in this video. So, back onto the topic of impersonation. I decided I might as well make this video because a while back, I had met a fan in-game who had told me that they met someone who was pretending to be me. They had copied my Petunia morph, and according to the fan, was being really rude. The person who was impersonating me was being incredibly mean to the fan, and saying rude things regarding the fan's cat that had recently passed away, causing the fan to cry. First of all, I want you to know that I would never, ever say something like that. If you mention a dead pet to me, I am most likely to respond with something like, "Sorry for your loss." I care deeply for animals, and I know losing a pet is hard. I would never, ever react rudely as that impersonator did. This is what I mean by impersonators giving YouTubers a bad reputation. This is not the only time someone has impersonated me. It doesn't happen with me as much as it does with Bella, but it has happened quite a few times, mostly when the game and my channel gained popularity in 2024, but also dating back to 2020 when my channel was still growing. And I thought this was an important issue that needs to be discussed. So the first part of this topic that I will go over is how to know it's really me. So, how do you know it's really me? Since this is Roblox, it's quite easy. Check my username. My username is Petunia_the Rainwing. Don't forget the underscore. And make sure you double check the spelling to make sure it's right. Although Roblox has it so that more than one person can't have the same username, some people may still switch some letters around to make it look almost convincing if they want to make an account entirely for impersonation, if they really feel like doing that. It's also important if you don't pay attention to the display name. The display name is not convincing information at all, and someone can easily change it to resemble my user. It may be the first thing you see in the leaderboard, but you should always click it to check the username. If you think you see me, click on my name in the leaderboard where it shows my display name, OC's name, and tribe. It should open up this thing showing my display name, username, and avatar. I am currently wearing my Valentine's avatar at the moment. The display name and avatar can change at any time, but my username will always be the reliable source of information that you must check. Please keep in mind, however, that I have a few other Roblox accounts that I also play on, though not as much as my main one. These accounts are Petunia Rainwing_alt, Petunia's alt 2, and Petunia's alt 3. These are my only active alts, and I don't have any other alts other than these ones. Make sure to check if the usernames on these ones are correct too, by clicking on my name in the leaderboard. However, it is especially important to keep in mind that Petunia_the Rainwing is the only account that has my Petunia morph on it. If you see someone who you think is me because their morph looks like Petunia but their username is not Petunia_the Rainwing, they are most likely not me. However, do not go up to and harass someone if their morph strongly resembles Petunia. Petunia has a very simple design, so there is a strong chance that it was a coincidence and that they didn't know. Also, do not harass somebody if they have a username similar to any of my usernames. There is a chance it could be unintentional or coincidence. The next thing I'm going to talk about is cosplayers. Cosplayers are not the same as impersonators. They are simply cosplaying as my character while also stating that they are not me and that they're just a fan. I have had people cosplay as my characters before in-game, specifically Petunia. It often happens to Bella too, although it's more common with her and she actually is okay with it, if I recall correctly. As long as they are not stealing her character. Cosplaying is harmless as they are simply just a fan of my channel, and I really appreciate your support. Believe me, I do. However, I know you don't mean any harm, but I still don't want people to cosplay my characters because it can be easily mistaken for theft. I know you aren't intentionally stealing my OC, but others may not know that. Some people may think you're really me, or may harass you for playing as a character that doesn't belong to you. Or they may not know who the character you're cosplaying is, and think that's actually your character, even if you explain otherwise in your bio. Normally, cosplaying is popular among fandoms and sources of media. However, my characters are not characters from a popular fandom that you can cosplay freely. I sometimes wish my characters had their own fandom, but that's not the point. They are my original creations, and they belong to me, and people cosplaying my characters is just something I'm not fully comfortable with. I understand that it's not theft or impersonation, and that it's harmless, but I still don't recommend cosplaying as my characters unless you have my permission. Next, I will be discussing what you should do if you see an impersonator. First of all, do not harass them under any circumstances. Harassing them will only make you look bad as well. There is a chance that they may be young or not know that it's wrong to copy their idols, and that they just want to be like them. If that's the case, I think it's okay to kindly educate them kindly that they shouldn't do that. Be kind. Tell them that it's nice that they support me, but I don't like my character being copied, and that they should get rid of the morph and make an original character instead. If they really didn't know any better and don't mean any harm, they'll probably listen. Younger people need to be educated, especially if they're new to these kinds of communities. However, if they refuse to change their morph and want to continue copying me, or are insisting that they really are me while you know they aren't, there may be a problem. There may be a chance they're doing it for attention. In that case, stop talking to them. Don't give them attention. Just ignore them. Silently report them to the Talons of Peace Discord server for OC theft, which is Rule 11 of the game rules as stated in the Discord server. Make sure you have proof when you are reporting them so that the admins will know that you are telling the truth. It is also important that you do not tell the impersonator that you are reporting them. If you tell them, they will most likely leave the game and the admins might not be able to do much. The last part of this topic that I will discuss will be what to do if you meet the real me in-game. This means after you check my username and see that it's actually me. Don't be afraid to say hi. Feel free to private message me saying you like my channel if you want, and feel free to hang out with me in-game if I'm not role-playing. I enjoy hanging out with fans and having conversations with them. If I'm in a roleplay, normally a private roleplay or role-playing with friends, I am probably less likely to hang out with you, but I can still try to respond if you private message me to say hi. I do want to say, however, that I recommend you do not tell the entire server my exact location on the map. I had someone do that before, where I was role-playing with someone. They yelled in the chat, "Petunia the Rainwing is at the palace!" And I understand their excitement, but I also felt uncomfortable. I know you're excited, but please avoid doing that because it can cause a swarm. Speaking of swarms, how I feel about swarms really depends on the swarm and how intense it is. For the most part, I can handle swarms. I'm okay with hanging out with a large group of fans if we're just hanging out and having fun. What I don't like is if it gets to a huge level of chaotic, which includes chasing me around, having like over 10 people clipping through my character and invading my personal space to the point where I can't see my own character, and treating me as if you worship me like some sort of cult or something. I once had a swarm some years ago where someone yelled, "Let's shower her with compliments!" And everyone started chasing me and throwing compliments at me like, "You're amazing!" and "You're artistic!" And I'm glad I make you guys happy, but that was a bit much. As for friending me, I only really accept requests if I get to know you a little bit more, like if I hang out with you a bit more. However, I am very slow when it comes to communicating with people through Roblox, and if you message me on Roblox, I probably won't respond until months later, because Roblox isn't my primary source of communicating with people. I'm a lot quicker if I'm being contacted through Discord, but I know some of you are too young for Discord. In that case, I'm sorry about that. We might not be able to have very frequent communication. Also, if you friend me, I appreciate you being nice to me and calling me your friend, but don't expect us to have like a really close friendship or communicate regularly or anything. I usually only communicate with certain people daily, mainly the online friends I already have, and it's not that I don't like you, but there's only so many people that I regularly talk to, and I can't just remember to regularly talk to so many people at once because I find it kind of overwhelming. And like I said, I may take ages to respond. Also, my Roblox joins are almost always off, so if you want to friend me, don't get disappointed when you find out you can't join me. Also, you'd kind of be communicating with someone way older than you, probably. I'm not like a creep or anything, but society, trust me, I'm not. It's just, society thinks it's kind of weird for like someone my age to have like a close friendship with someone way younger. You know what I'm saying? It's just society's view. So that's it for this video. I feel like I have covered everything. I'm sorry for not posting, it's just there's not much development right now, so I'm just prioritizing other things at the moment. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!